Okay, so we're going to be making a monster. I'm going to go ahead and delete all of this here and just press X to get that lined up there. I'm going to use a reference image. You don't have to, but you're certainly welcome to. And I just found this image online. You could draw your own or find one online also. So I'm going to go to Add Image Reference. And there's my monster reference. So this is the one I'm going to use as my reference. I'm going to name this reference image. And then I want to come up here and check this one that says selectable. And I want to come here on this object data properties. Click on transparency and lower the transparency so it's not so bright. Okay. And then I want to click on this so that I can no longer move it around and it'll stay in place. Actually, before I do that, I want to make sure that my image is as centered as it can be because I did not crop this. So I'm looking at his nostrils here. I'm looking at this meeting up. I think that's close, and I can always move him if I want. Then I'm going to make him unselectable. And then I'm going to start off with a square. You're probably going to want to start off with a square, whether your image is different. I'm sorry, a square, a cube, whether it's different than mine or not. Okay, and then you're going to want to add subdivision surface. And probably change that at least to 2. Okay, you can take that into edit mode, and that's when you're going to start making it similar to your monster shape. So you notice my monster just has like one body shape. Yours might have a head and a body. So just depending on how you kind of do that. And I might even, I don't know. So then I'm going to start adding loop cuts. Loop cuts is what kind of helps give it those certain shapes. So I'm pushing Control R. And then you want to make sure that if you're ever trying to edit this, that you use X-ray mode to select the correct points here. Because if you don't, it's not going to select the ones in the back. Then you're going to have this weird shape. So now I'm going to just scale these in. And looks like I might need one here in the middle. And just because you're using a reference image does not mean it has to be exactly like your reference image, okay? I already know that I'm going to change some things up that are on my image. So mainly I just wanted to use it for like the body shape. Then you might want to look at this and see, okay, does it look fine? Does it look too fat? Do you want it to be skinnier? Do you want it to be bigger? Okay, so I'm going to start making the eye. Okay, so to create the eye, I'm just going to add a UV sphere. I'm going to go ahead and shade that smooth. And I'm just going to do one. I just want one eye. My example has 2, but that's not what I want to do. And then I want this to be like the white of the eye, so I'm going to Shift D, duplicate that. So I want to make him fat again. Okay, so now his eye looks off. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is work on the mouth. So how I'm going to do this is first let me get his eye. And I'm just gonna group, join those together for now. And then I'm gonna grab my body shape. I'm going to take that into edit mode, and what I want to do is get my X-ray mode on. I want to select exactly half of him, half of his vertices, and I'm going to delete, oh, too much, delete faces. Okay, so now I have half of them, right? I'm going to go to object mode so you can see here, and with that selected, okay, so I'm going to go to the modifier panel and select mirror. If it doesn't mirror right, you just got to figure out which one to push. So mine is Y. So now everything that I add to this right side is going to mirror over to the other side. And you could do this with the eye, but I don't want to worry about that. So now I'm going to take my body into edit mode. So now I just have this half to worry about. What I want to do is cut out a spot for my mouth, but I feel like that mouth is way too high. So this is what I'm going to do. Okay, I'm going to go back to object mode. I'm going to select, I'm going to get this here where I can select my image again. And I'm going to move it down so that my mouth fits better right here. Now, if you don't want to use the mouth of your reference image, then you can do a different mouth. Okay, now I'm going to lock it back in place, select my body, go back to edit mode. Okay. The only issue with this is if I do this, it selects both the front and back, but I don't want to mess with the mouth and the back. There's not a mouth in the back, right? So this is where it gets a little bit tricky. You kind of have to remember like what it is you want to select. I know I want to select at least these three, maybe a little bit more spacing there. Okay, so I know it's about, let me get face select. That I'm going to go back to X-ray so I can see. I got a little bit too much there, so I want to uncheck those. So I'm going to hold shift to get rid of those. And maybe, I think I can figure that out. I'm going to try it just like that. So what I'm going to do is I'm cutting these out. So I'm going to delete faces. Okay. Now there's different ways you can do this. If you leave it in X-ray, you just risk selecting that back one instead of the front one sometimes. So for now, I'm going to not be an X-ray and work on it like this. If you start getting some that are a little too close together, then you want to kind of even that out. So maybe move them up at the same time. Ooh, not like that. But what I want to do before I go any further is I want to create like a little lip around his mouth. So to do that, I'm going to create like a border. I don't know if this is going to work. We'll see. Kind of a little border around his whole entire mouth. Okay, now I'm going to try doing the lips. So on a little thin lip line here that hopefully I can get to work. Okay, so I'm going to try it. I don't know. Okay, maybe like that. And like that. Okay, now I'm going to try it. Okay, extrude just a little bit. Go back to object mode. I'm going to add subdivision surface because I know it looks crazy right now. And I'm going to widen that a little bit. And maybe I need to make it a little more pronounced. Okay, so I'm not liking the middle, so I gotta figure out what to do there. I'm gonna select these and move it. I want you to touch, not intersect. Let's see. I think there's a way. Clipping? No. There we go. We'll do the same thing for this one. So if you turn on clipping, it should help you out connecting these if you're doing what I'm doing. Now I'm going to attempt to do a tooth. I'm gonna just add a cube and make a tooth and then mirror it, because that seems like a logical thing for me to do. Take that into edit mode. I'm gonna go ahead and give it a subdivision. And turn on X-ray. And start making some loop cuts here. For sure, just want to do 2 to start, kind of start off with here, and then I can start moving things around. To first get this shape. Oops. Put this line here where the tooth is going to come to a point. Here we go, shade that smooth. Let's see what I think. Okay, well, first of all, that tooth is too far back. Way too wide. I feel like that's gonna really change the shape, but for now, I'm just gonna leave it like this. I'm not that worried about it. Okay, then I'm gonna mirror this tooth. Mirror, 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 mirror. Not mask. And I also want to see what, if I can find it, auto smooth does. Okay, that makes it look a little more pointy, which I like. I thought I mirrored this. Did I not? I guess I didn't mirror it right. So I'm gonna go ahead and drag this up here, and it's not the X, it's not the Y, it's not the Z. Oh, I have to pick my object. Okay, I. There we go. Turn that off for now. Maybe if I do this one over here. A little bit more. Okay. Did I rotate too much? Let me go take that into edit mode. And now I'm going to mirror this one. Mirror, mirror, mirror. Okay. The thing is, he doesn't have like if I turn this off. You can just like see into like his body, which is not what we want. So we have to make like a mouth shape. And I'm gonna go ahead and kind of name teeth dot top, teeth dot bottom. Okay. Okay, so now what I'm gonna do is add like a backing here so that you don't see like inside of him, you'll see like his mouth. So to do that, I'm gonna add a UV sphere. Add a smash UV sphere. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and just bring this out and I'm gonna go and take it into edit mode. You wanna make sure if you're doing this that I'm gonna put it on its side. And use my X-ray and I'm gonna select all of these vertices here. Make sure you don't get, oh, you know what, it's easier, sorry, I'm getting confused. If you use vertex select, select all these here for the half. And you're going to select delete faces. Should be about half gone, okay? I'm going to go back to object mode just so I can see, and I'm going to go ahead and shade that smooth. And I'm going to make it thinner. And what I want to do is kind of make it about the size of the mouth. Okay, it doesn't need to be too large, but it does need to fit. Why does that not look even? I don't want to move it. Then I'm just going to start moving it in and see if I need to make any adjustments. So of course you don't want to see any of the sides here. So that's how far it would be back there. And I think that's okay. So for now, that piece is, I'm just going to put mouth inside. Then if you wanted to attempt to add a tongue, which I would recommend, probably what you need to do next, I think I'm gonna just try to mold something out of a cube. First, I'm just gonna kind of get it what I think might be a good little size to work with. It's kind of hard because you can't see the whole tongue, but you just kind of have to, you would have to imagine the other longness of it if you plan to include all of that. And of course you want to add subdivision surface, maybe bring that up a notch. Take that to edit mode. Just need loop cuts here so I can okay, so I just did 3. Let me get my vertex select. Vertex and move all these down. I want to shade that smooth. Now, you got to think about, first of all, it's way too wide. You got to think about what are you going to animate with your monster? If the tongue is not going to have any movement, then, you know, fix it how you want it. Not that big of a deal. If you think that maybe you're going to want his tongue to stick out at some point, just know that you can always edit that. I don't know what I'm saying. So now I'm good with the body. I need to move my reference image back up because I only use that for the mouth. So I'm going to line that back up there, lock it in, rename this my tongue. Okay, so next thing I'm going to do is add the horn. Again, I'm just going to make one and then we'll mirror it. So I'm going to add mesh cube. Bring it over here. Scale it down a bit. Gonna rotate it kind of the way my horn is. Then I'm going to go ahead and add a subdivision surface modifier and increase that to 2. And if you want, you can go ahead and shade that smooth. Okay, so now I'm going to take that into edit mode. And you want to have your X-ray mode on here. Remember to click and drag over anything that you're moving so that you move both sides at the same time. If you need to see better, you can always turn it off after it's been selected. If you kind of need to see what's going on, but then you need to turn it back on if you're going to select something else. Okay, then I'm going to get my extrude region. Oh, I want to grab this edge, then get my extrude. Extrude that out, then I want to move this whole side over. Then I want to extrude again. I don't know if I'll be able to select these without selecting that one. Okay. Once you kind of got something made, you can look at it and see if you want to change anything. I feel like I do for sure want to scale this down a bit. Not scale it down, but the thickness. Let me look at it here. I think I'm pretty okay with that. So I'm going to come here, add a mirror modifier. Object. Actually, I'm going to choose the eye. Okay. Now for the lovely part of doing the legs and the arms. So you can make the legs separately, or you can like come and extrude it off there. I think I'm just gonna maybe make it separately by adding a cube. And hopefully you're getting more familiar with how to like make things using the cube. Just kind of gonna get that rough shape there first. You rename this. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and put a subdivision surface on there and increase that, shade it smooth. Maybe add one more, make it smoother. Okay, I'm gonna take that into edit mode and just start editing this here. Again with my X-ray. And again, this does not have to be exactly like your picture. I think I'm pretty okay with that. I just need to give him little toenails. Claws, whatever you want to call it. Okay, so I will go ahead and mirror this, see what that looks like on the other side. So I'm gonna try it, make one of these toes. Not a plane. Subdivision surface, shade smooth, edit mode. I think I might be okay with that. Just looks a little bit funny. Okay, Shift D. I think I am okay with that. So I'm going to join these and I'm going to mirror them. Okay. I might even join these together. There. Except I'm going to try to give it a little more. Let me go back to my reference image. I need a little more space between my arm and my body. So that's what I'm going to try to do. Add cube. Oop. I wonder if we should do this with a sphere. I don't know. I'm going to add subdivision surface. Bring it up at least once, shade smooth, and maybe a third time. Gonna rotate that a little bit, facing that way. Okay, go to edit mode. Definitely need some loop cuts in here. Maybe one in the middle. Okay, way too wide. X-ray. Okay. Let's see. I'm back to object mode. I have to make another one of these little things. Arms. Okay, so I'm gonna add another tiny cube for these little claws. Now I'm going to mirror this. I joined all that together. I'm going to mirror it. Okay, let me turn off my reference image. Looks like I might want that in a little bit further. Okay, so I think I want him to have more of a little bum here. So using proportional editing, give him a little buttocks there. Okay. Not that I'm really ever going to see his back, but you never know, might see his back one day. Okay, so next you'll go ahead and add your materials to your monster.